Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. So here's the deal. You know, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Atlanta's for real. Derek meant to make your black ass cry. I apologize a million times. Yeah, I don't have a voice for this, but you get the idea. You get the message. See, you all saw where Denia pretty much explained that she had been one of many from the very beginning. She's just the one that married him. And so what we learned from seeing Denia Jackson make her confession is that the red pill, the black manosphere, and even the white manosphere regarding this is right. Women will compete for the few men that they all want. And women are against monogamy. You heard me right. They don't like monogamy. They don't look at one man, one woman with respect. They look at that man like, what the hell is wrong? See, I stated before, and I don't know if I uploaded or if I had to erase this, but I stated before regarding Derek Jackson and Denia Jackson that Derek, if Derek had been the kind of guy that a Christian husband, especially a conservative African-American Southern Christian husband is supposed to be, she would not have wanted him. I stated this before. I know what I'm talking about. I've been there multiple times before. I've watched other guys. I can simply watch how they treat other men and I can see what goes on. I mean, even in my case, I've either had multiples pursuing me or nobody, and even had them moving away when I wasn't pursuing them. That's the experience that I've had, and I've been able to go back and forth with that, and I've been somewhat fortunate that I've been able to see that. But how am I supposed to respect them if that's what's going on, right? I don't have a way to respect them when that's what we're dealing with. I look and I say, no, there's nothing I can do to learn to respect you. That's nasty. What the F? Why? What's going on with that? How is it that that you can take someone who, even when they're in shape, is devoted, and you just can't be with them because they're devoted? Or they're faithful, or they're just not going to disrespect and embarrass you. Denia sat up and said that she watched videos of her husband, at that time her fiance, digging out other women and sitting up there and saying, how can I be like them? And she sat up and told us this. Now she doesn't get to sit up and say anything anymore about being a victim. That's not Christ-like. Even for us as Muslims who allow polygyny, the husband is not to videotape himself with one wife and the other one has access to that videotape. Or video, I should say. Now there's no more tape. That's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to be that way. Because one's talents are not the other one's business. Even when we marry more than one, it's not about comparing one to the other. So even we don't stoop to that level unless you're dealing with a man that ain't practicing. And to be honest with you, when you do hear about a Muslim man doing stuff like this, he didn't learn it from another Muslim. This is something that had to make its way into the ranks of the Muslims from the outside, and it's still very rare because we understand that's not the case. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. I told you all when I did my live stream about Atlanta yesterday that Atlanta was worse than what we could fathom, worse than what we were prepared for, worse than what we knew. I mentioned that. And now I want you to understand who it attracts. See, neither of them are from Atlanta. They're from Dirt Road, Alabama. And in Dirt Road, Alabama, he was the football star. And she was probably one of the beauty queens of that particular area. Because, these areas don't really have much to offer. So they might both have been the best physical specimens for their respective genders where they were. I don't know if they met in their hometowns or if they met in college, whatever the case is. Maybe they met at Tuskegee. That's still, in terms of its setting, it's pretty much Dirt Road, Alabama. I'm not knocking Tuskegee, but in terms of the population, yeah, that's Dirt Road, Alabama. It's just not far from Montgomery. But even then, let's look at what it was. That's what it is. And then they moved to Atlanta. What do you think attracted both of them to Atlanta? The glitz and the glamour for her, and more in shape and glamorous women for him. I thought about it afterwards. I didn't think about this at the time I was talking about Atlanta, but that couple could not stay together. And I no longer want to see videos of her poring over Bible pages talking about, I lost myself and my husband worshiped him. You might have lost yourself, but you chose to, because we already know there were many men out there, and they could even have been in shape or as tall, or they could have made the same money as Derek. We already know. Now, as far as all of that, all three of those together, that was pretty much going to be Derek, who was going to be sticking it in other women. I'm not going to jump on him entirely too much. I'm not exonerating him. I'm not taking digs at him right now because everybody else has already done that. And plus, men are always held accountable. Now, the women are not holding Derek accountable. It's the men that are. That's the irony of it. But Denia has sat up and said before that she said she's been a vindictive little witch. She herself had said stuff like this. I think it was around the first time that he got caught in a scandal, digging out somebody else that wasn't his wife. Yeah. Well, let's stop and think about that. Now she's pretty much telling us what the deal is. Now, I figured, you know what? If she said it, it's a confession. I remember saying that to myself. If she said it, it's a confession. But now what I'm sitting up and saying to you is, look at the confession. She sat up and said she watched in order to learn these other women so that he could select her. If he had not had these other women, she would not have wanted him. And that's really what it came down to. Now, I'm sure that his height and muscle and social status on the football team helped. I'm sure that helped. Because she wouldn't do this for most guys. But the fact is this. When you have somebody else. All right, sorry about the pause, audience, but I just had to speak to a student right quick. So, getting back to that, the fact is that if you took someone even like him, and he was responsible, and he wasn't a showpiece, show off, in other words, and he wasn't full of himself, and he wasn't so preachy, and put him in the same gym for the same number of hours at the same height, and you give him a more responsible way to earn money, and he actually does not cheat and commit adultery, she would not be willing to compete for him. That's what I wanted y'all to understand, and Atlanta attracted them both. And they couldn't stay together. I swear, I could not write a script like this. There are two reasons why I did not finish writing the fiction that I promised a while back. No, there are three reasons. Yeah, two reasons, sorry. One of them, I've been busy. But the other one is because I cannot write a fiction that matches this reality of them coming out and proving everything that we've been saying they would do. They can talk as bad about Samuels and Tate as they want, but they can't prove them wrong, especially her. And she did all of this under the key, and she did all of this under the cloak and color of the church. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Hit the Cash App on your way out of the jet black aircraft. See y'all on the next flight.